Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a max effort lower day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, as someone already said with the preview for the max lift, when Coach Blaha is in sweats and a hoodie, you know it's cold. My door is closed. I tried to open it to get warmed up, and I'm like, I can't do this. I thought about even performing a deadlift today, and I'm like, no, I don't want to grip the bar in this. My stuff got way too cold overnight. Although I got a lot warmer as I got further into the workout, it wasn't as bad. But it's pretty cold, and before people chime in, keep in mind I used to train out in freezing cold all the time in the UK outside. I've reclimatized to Texas. I'm used to it being sweltering heat most of the time, so I'm actually not used to this now. It's just the way the body works. But I still got in and trained. The only thing I'm going to say after doing the one good morning, I didn't want to do a bunch of heavy good mornings again after. So that's the only thing I kind of took out for the day. So I got in, ramped up to a 401 safety bar good morning. Fairly happy with that. Fairly happy with it. Again, it felt like pretty well a max for me today. Again, we auto-regulate these max effort days. You know, there's a lot of confusion on that regarding the way that works. A lot of people seem to think that, you have to PR every time on your max effort lifts. Well, stuff happens, we detrain, cutting happens, things aren't always perfect. So really we auto-regulate them. It's in a perfect world, you know where your progress is based on those. In other words, the last time you hit a safety bar good morning versus whatever it is now tells you a lot about what's happening with your training. But, obviously you're not going to PR if you know for whatever reason you've lost weight, you maybe got sick, you detrained anywhere. Yeah, it's not necessarily going to be a PR. You could be having a bad day. It's not going to be a PR in that case. So we should be there to train, and really that is just the test where you are as far as knowing the PRs. The training effect doesn't come from the PR. Training effect comes from hitting a lift that's 95%, 97%, whatever it happens to be. We strain against a heavy load, and that is where our training effect comes in, okay? That is the goal. The goal is to strain against a heavy load, because here's the thing. If you PR, but it wasn't a strain, let's say you got so much stronger that you come in and you hit a 5-pound PR, but it only hit 89, 90% of your true max. You didn't get the full benefit, did you? You didn't get the benefit because you didn't strain. So you might have hit a PR, but your max effort day itself from a training perspective was useless. What if it went down 20 pounds, but you still strain? Well, then we got the training response, but you know that you're weaker. Understand how that works? And we program conjugate that way. To try to train our lifters to PR as often as they can, to be PRing all the time, so that it builds confidence. It programs them to think like a winner. Okay, but we can't always have that happen. It's not always going to happen. That's reality. So what I do with the training a little bit different today, because I didn't do any good mornings. I'm like, let me get some extra belt squatting in. So I did a 5x5 instead of 3x5 like last time. I'm focusing now on, I've been using a little bit lighter weight so I can get the deepest range of motion possible, taking those ass to grass, but trying to progress on 5s now. So I went up just a hair, but I did 5x5. Okay. I'm like, well, I probably need the extra squatting work. Wouldn't be a bad idea, all things considered. Keeping in mind, I'm in a very, very, very small deficit. So when I say I'm cutting, I don't mean I'm losing a pound a week or anything. It's a few ounces. Just trying to trim body fat down. For those who saw the Facebook post, I'm not blasting at the moment. I'm really just working on fat loss, satellite cell proliferation, building tendons. But if I can gain any muscle or strength back that I previously have had off a little bit of muscle memory, I'll take it. And that's kind of the goal. So we are focusing on a lot of stuff on maximizing hypertrophy, but I'm trying to keep recovery on point so we aren't going crazy on the volumes. We're keeping them moderate. So again, 5x5 belt squat, and then I supersetted with banded glute ham raises for the first 3 sets, because really I can only handle about 3 sets of those at the moment. And since I have been doing the good mornings and stuff a lot of the days, that's really all I need. Arguably today I might have benefited from more, but it's cold. I got in, trained hard, and I wanted this part done. I came in, hit my max, came over, put it on the computer and everything, went back out and did my supplemental work, got it done in 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes and called it a day. That's enough. That is enough to get it done. So at the end, we then supersetted the last 2 sets with reverse hyperextensions. So I did 3x8 on the banded Good Mornings, 5x5 on the belt squats, 5 sets of 10 at 50% squat max on the reverse hypers. And I'm trying to focus now on, again, the longest range of motion I can get. Well, not at the bottom, because I'm trying to control it. Controlling the eccentrics, trying to feel the glutes and the erectors at the top. So I'm trying to get that up, a little bit higher. Some of these sets I didn't know because, again, feeling a little off in this weather, but at least I got it done. Main thing is going in and just getting the weight done, getting the workout done. And I think at the last set or two, I really focused more on trying to get, the most control of the weight and to squeeze that low back and glutes on the way up. Obviously, you can't hold it. It's not going to happen even with these sort of weights. But again, controlling everything a lot more. Okay, again, trying to create better control. And again, remembering this is a restoration movement. Yes, I pushed it for hard progression, but I'm at a point now where it's like, the Good Mornings and the glute ham raises should build the progression on those lifts. This will help. It will absolutely help. But I really want to use it for the restorative effects and for the low back benefits more than anything. I need to keep my back healthy. All right, so rather than try to push this like a main exercise, which I did for quite a while, I'm going to treat it more as the restorative and low back movement. Again, subject to change. Makes it a lot easier to get set up and stuff, though. And I feel like I'm working just as hard on it. When I control it more like this with half the weight, I feel just as much work in the low back. Okay, feel just as much work in the glutes. We're still getting the desired response, so I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. But, all in all, this was, again, a fairly brief workout. And like I said, next time we'll come in and we'll push the Good Mornings and everything after. And I may rotate in Romanian deadlifts in there some too, just to break things up. But right now I want to focus on the Good Mornings a lot. I'm going to use the cambered bar mostly for a bit. Then we'll go over and do the SSB some. But the other thing is, doing that SSB tells me where my Good Morning is. All right, if I can do 400 on an SSB, I can do 500 on a cambered bar. So a few weeks from now, we need to test that bad boy and see where it's at. Because my short-term goal is to get over to 405 for 5s on it again, which I think I'm about ready for. And of course, we finished up with a bunch of abs. I just did one really long set. This one over 100 reps. Not sure how far over, a little bit. But I tried to just get to 100 reps, so this was the goal of standing banded crunches. Last leg workout, I did hanging leg raises for several sets. This time we just did the band crunches. So again, just wanted a good burn in my abs and my hip flexors, finish up the abs for the day. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.